In this video, I'm going to go through a series of progressive exercises which can help with peroneal muscle function. Not to be confused with the perineum. The peroneal muscles are on the outside of the calf, the outside of the lower leg. And they start kind of up here, just around the head of the fibula. They run along down the outside of the leg, behind the ankle bone, to the side of the foot. The shorter one inserts onto the base of your little toe, the base of your fifth metatarsal. The longer one runs all the way underneath the foot to insert underneath the big toe, the base of the foot. So these muscles, if you take your foot off of the floor, they work to do this movement, which we call eversion of the ankle. But we don't tend to do this that much in day-to-day life. We tend to have our feet on the floor. So what they're doing is helping with stability of the ankle joint. And actually, a lot of the time, helping to resist this inversion. So they contract to help prevent us from going over on our ankles. And something a lot of people find is if they've had an ankle inversion injury where they've twisted their ankle and these peroneal muscles don't function quite as well as they might have done previously and aren't as good at stopping you from going over on your ankle, which means that you do it again and again and again. And there's various other reasons why you might want to strengthen up these muscles. So this is a quite nice functional kind of balance incorporating exercise, which gets you working them, but in a loaded position. So we're going to take a rolled towel or blanket, and you can change the size of this and the height of it depending on how difficult this exercise is for you. So we're going to, with the affected foot, you're going to place the big toe to the center of the rolled towel. The first ray, so is in the big toe, the first metatarsal, and then the center of the heel. All going to be on the center of the towel. You can stand with both feet on the floor to start for the first level of this exercise. And the side of the foot is kind of dropping down off of the towel. So actually, if you kind of let it go, you're going into this more inverted position of the foot. Peroneal muscles may be being stretched a little bit more. Okay, we're going to load through the big toe, press down through the big toe and through the heel. And keeping weight in the center, you're not going to shift over onto the other foot. Keeping weight in the center, we're just going to raise the outside of the foot, pressing down through the big toe and through the heel, and then let it lower. And so the first level of this exercise is just raising and lowering, just going through this little bit of mobility work, just starting to build a connection with what's going on, noticing, can you feel anything along the outside of the leg? Can you feel these muscles working to bring the foot up and then lower it back down again, trying to lower down with control? So maybe doing 6 repetitions of this, little rest, another 6, little rest, another 6, and just see how it feels, see if you can notice any work. Then if that feels okay, you can move on to the next stage of this, which is doing more of an isometric contraction where we lift and then maintain. So we're going to lift the side of the foot and then hold it here for 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lowering down again. And then lifting, hold it here, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering down. So you could repeat that, then 6-second holds, 6 times over, and then see how your foot feels. The next stage of this exercise would be lifting. Press down through the big toe, lift the outside of the foot. So we're using the outside of the foot. And then we're going to step the other foot slightly forwards, and then step it backwards. So we can do this lift and maintain and step forwards, and then step backwards. So this is going into a bit more of a functional use of your peroneal muscles to maintain this position of the foot and ankle while we're stepping in a similar way to we do when we're walking. So you could do maybe 6 repetitions of this, stepping forwards and backwards, and then rest. Repeat that 6 times over. And the next thing we can do is going into a little bit more balance work. So you may want to have a wall or something to just give yourself a bit of balance for them. I don't have anything close enough to me here, but I'll just use the wall behind me. So loading through that foot and then coming up, seeing if you can lift and lower lift and lower, you're just on one leg, and then progressing on from that, lifting and maintaining it while on one leg. So that's, you just gradually work your way up through those exercises rather than doing them all in one go. Would go through and do kind of like one level for a few days and then see how you feel and gradually work your way up. Okay, good luck.